Hey warrior, watch any room full of men who think they're confident. One's bragging about his job title, another's talking over everyone. Someone else is cracking jokes too loud, trying to dominate the energy. They're all pushing, all performing, desperate to be seen as the man. But then there's him, the one leaning back, relaxed, saying almost nothing. While the others fight for attention, he just observes, calm, composed, unreadable. And here's what nobody realizes. He's the most dangerous man in that room. People keep glancing at him, trying to figure him out, drawn to his presence without knowing why. He isn't chasing approval, he isn't flashing status, yet he quietly bends the atmosphere around him. That is the most dangerous trait of the truly confident. This trait isn't loud, flashy, or obvious, and that's exactly why it's so dangerous. You can't buy it, you can't fake it, and you can't slap it on like a designer label. It has nothing to do with how much money you make, how good you look, or how many followers you have. In fact, most men never develop it because they're obsessed with appearing confident instead of actually becoming powerful. They chase attention, validation, and quick respect, while this trait is built quietly over time. But once you understand it and start cultivating it, everything about how people respond to you changes. What that man possesses is what Machiavelli would have called ruthless self-control, the ability to stay icy calm while everyone else is ruled by impulse, to think 3 moves ahead while others are reacting to the last one. It's the power to command respect without begging for it, to influence outcomes without barking orders, to lead without announcing that you're a leader. Every truly dangerous king, prince, and commander throughout history had this quality, even if they called it by different names: discipline, composure, virtue. The weak never develop it because they're too busy chasing feelings, chasing attention, chasing comfort. But the men who master ruthless self-control become unpredictable in the eyes of others, impossible to manipulate, and almost impossible to defeat. This isn't magic, and it isn't luck. It's psychology sharpened into a weapon. Today, I'm going to break this trait down for you piece by piece. What ruthless self-control actually looks like in real life, how Machiavelli hinted at it, and how you can build it yourself. But understand this: you can't fake it, you can't rush it, and you can't borrow it from anyone else. It has to be forged from the inside out through discipline, restraint, and brutal honesty with yourself. Now, before we go any further, I want you to lock this into your mind and into your identity. Drop this in the comments right now. My self-control is my power. Not my anger, not my ego, not my need for attention, my self-control. Number 1. Develop emotional immunity. Most men are emotional puppets, yanked around by whatever string someone decides to pull that day. One insult and they explode. One joke at their expense and they get defensive. One cold reply and their whole mood collapses. That's not confidence. That's slavery to emotion. A truly confident man with ruthless self-control doesn't let another person's words, tone, or attitude dictate his state. He treats his emotions like a disciplined army, not a chaotic mob. Machiavelli wrote that a prince must be prepared for constant attacks, betrayals, and shifting fortunes. If his emotions rise and fall with every blow, his enemies own him. It's the same for you. Every day people will test you, intentionally or not. They'll talk down to you, ignore you, mock you, challenge your beliefs, push your buttons. The weak man reacts instantly. The dangerous man pauses. He breathes. He chooses his response like a strategist, not like a child throwing a tantrum. Emotional immunity doesn't mean you don't feel anything. It means you don't broadcast everything. You might feel anger, but you don't let it leak out as whining or overreaction. You might feel disrespected, but you don't rush to prove yourself. You stay composed, measured, deliberate. And here's the paradox. The less you react, the more power you hold. People respect what they cannot rattle, and they fear what they cannot predict. Number 2. Master the art of strategic withdrawal. Weak men think power is about always being in the mix, always talking, always posting, always showing up to prove they matter. They chase every argument, reply to every message instantly, and insert themselves into every conversation like their presence alone is a flex. But the truly confident and dangerous man understands that his absence can be more powerful than his presence. Machiavelli warned that rulers are judged by what people see, and when you let yourself be seen too often, you become ordinary in their eyes. Ruthless self-control means you don't let your ego drag you into every battle or every room. You don't need to defend yourself against every slight or correct every misunderstanding. Sometimes the strongest move is to step back, to not show up, to leave them wondering. When you're not always available, your time becomes valuable. When you don't respond immediately, your attention becomes a privilege, not a right. Friends start to appreciate you more when they see you less. Potential partners notice when you're not chasing. People begin to ask themselves, what is he doing? What is he focused on? And that question alone gives you power. Strategic withdrawal is not running away. It's choosing your battlefields. It's leaving the party while they still want you there, ending the conversation while it's still interesting, walking away from drama before it pulls you in. The man who can hold himself back, who can say no to his own urge to be seen and validated, is the one who quietly dominates the room, even when he's not in it. Number 3. Speak only when your words are weapons. Most men treat conversation like background noise. They talk just to fill silence, share opinions nobody asked for, and comment on everything like their thoughts are too important to be kept inside. That's not confidence, that's insecurity with a microphone. A truly confident, dangerous man with ruthless self-control understands that every word he speaks either builds his power or bleeds it. Machiavelli wrote that a ruler's first sign of wisdom is shown by the quality of the people and counsel he keeps. But in your world, that wisdom shows up in how selectively you speak. Before you open your mouth, you run a silent check. Does this need to be said? Am I the one who needs to say it, and is now the right time? If the answer is no to any of those, you keep it to yourself. The less you speak, the more people listen when you finally do. They assume your words are considered, not compulsive. They start revealing more to you because you're not competing for airtime, you're gathering information. You don't interrupt to impress. You don't overshare to be liked, and you don't argue to prove you're right. You save your voice for moments that matter, to set boundaries, to give direction, to deliver truth. The man who can hold his tongue when his ego is screaming to be heard is the man everyone eventually listens to. Number 4. Weaponize your physical presence. Ruthless self-control isn't just in your mind, it lives in your body, in how you move, how you stand, how you enter a room. Most men obsess over what to say, but ignore the fact that their slouched shoulders, restless hands, and darting eyes are already screaming insecurity before they open their mouths. A truly confident man understands that his posture speaks first. He walks in like he belongs there, not arrogantly, not puffed up, but grounded, steady, unhurried. Machiavelli wrote that everyone sees what you appear to be, and only a few know who you really are. Your appearance is their first and sometimes only data point, so you make it count. Shoulders back, chest open, chin level. Your movements are deliberate, never twitchy or rushed. When someone speaks to you, You face them fully. You hold eye contact, then break it calmly, not like you've been caught, but like you're in control of where your attention goes. You're not glued to your phone. You're not scanning the room for approval. You're present. This doesn't mean acting like a statue or forcing fake alpha poses. Means your body matches your inner discipline, still, controlled, efficient. Weak men fidget, tap their feet, check their screens, fold into themselves when they feel insecure. You do the opposite. You take up your space without apology. You don't shrink, you don't overexpand, you just exist, with calm certainty. Before you even say a word, people feel it. This man is not rattled, not rushed, and not seeking permission to be here. That's ruthless self-control in physical form, and it makes you dangerous long before you speak. Number 5. Become indifferent to outcomes. Most men are secretly begging the world to validate them. They need the date to go perfectly. They need the deal to close. They need everyone in the room to like them, and that need leaks out of them in every word and gesture. That's why they're easy to read, easy to pressure, easy to control. A truly confident and dangerous man with ruthless self-control cares about his actions, not his approval rating. He shows up fully, he gives his best, but he doesn't cling to what happens next. Machiavelli wrote that fortune is like a woman, favoring the bold and punishing the timid. But the real danger lies in becoming so obsessed with her favor that you lose your nerve every time she turns away. When you tie your mood, your confidence, and your identity to specific outcomes, you hand your power to randomness. One rejection ruins your week. One failed attempt makes you doubt your entire path. The man with ruthless self-control flips this. On a date, he's curious, present, and fully engaged. But if there's no chemistry, he's fine. In conversation, he's honest, not bending his opinions to win points. In business, he plays to win, but he doesn't crumble if he loses. His standard is internal. Did I act with clarity, courage, and discipline? If yes, the result is just information, not a verdict on his worth. People feel that difference. The needy man tries to impress. The indifferent man expresses. One is desperate, the other is free, and freedom is always more attractive, more powerful, and far more dangerous. Number 6. Cultivate inner stability. Most men are like boats without anchors. They drift wherever the current of their day decides to take them. Good news? They feel unstoppable. One inconvenience, they're pissed off. One compliment, and they're on a high. One criticism, and they spiral into doubt. That's not confidence, that's volatility. A truly confident, dangerous man with ruthless self-control is internally anchored. His mood, his focus, and his sense of worth don't swing wildly based on who texted him back, what someone posted, or how his morning went. Machiavelli warned that the man who ignores reality for fantasies of how things should be destroys himself faster than anyone else. And that's what unstable men do. They let every setback feel like an injustice instead of a fact of life. You don't do that. You control the one thing that's always yours, your response. You build inner stability by knowing exactly who you are and what you stand for, regardless of the chaos outside you. You train your body with consistent effort. You train your mind with real ideas and hard truths. You spend time alone so you're not a stranger to yourself. You develop skills that give you real confidence, not just hype. When life hits you, and it will, you don't flail, you adjust. You might feel the sting, but you don't crumble. People feel that. They sense the man who doesn't need constant reassurance, who doesn't break when things go wrong, who doesn't ride the emotional roller coaster everyone else is strapped into. That calm center, that inner anchor, is ruthless self-control at its core, and it's what makes you unshakable. Number 7. Practice controlled intensity. Most men are stuck at one of two settings. Either they're overhyped, trying too hard, or they're checked out, acting like they don't care about anything. Both are forms of weakness. The truly confident, dangerous man with ruthless self-control knows how to dial his energy up and down on command. Machiavelli said a prince must learn to be both fox and lion, the fox to see the trap, the lion to scare off the wolves. For you, that means knowing when to sit back and observe and when to strike decisively. In casual situations, you're relaxed, easygoing, not burning unnecessary energy trying to impress anyone. But when it's time to perform, on a big call, in a confrontation, in a critical moment, you flip the switch, your focus tightens, your voice sharpens, your presence intensifies. You're not frantic, you're precise. You don't bring full aggression to minor problems, and you don't bring lazy energy to major opportunities. You read the room, you read the stakes, and you match your intensity to what actually matters. This makes you extremely hard to predict and even harder to manipulate, because no one can drag you into overreacting or underperforming on command. The man who is always loud, always on, drains himself and becomes noise. The man who is always low energy disappears into the background. But the man with controlled intensity, calm until it's time to move, then unstoppable, becomes someone people remember, respect, and quietly fear. That's ruthless self-control in motion. You now understand something most men will never see clearly, even if they live their whole lives pretending to be confident. The most dangerous trait of the truly confident is ruthless self-control, not loudness, not flash, not charm, inner stability that doesn't crack under pressure, emotional immunity that doesn't dance every time someone tugs a string, controlled intensity that shifts from calm to decisive in a heartbeat when it actually matters. This is what Machiavelli was pointing at when he wrote about princes who could rule through presence alone, who could navigate betrayal, chaos, and fortune without losing their heads. Your power was never supposed to come from applause, likes, or validation. It was always meant to come from mastery of yourself. Starting today, start watching yourself like a strategist. Notice the exact moments you react instead of respond, the times you talk just to fill silence, the situations where your body language gives away fear, the days when your mood is at the mercy of texts, news, or other people's behavior. These are your training grounds. Each time you pause instead of explode, stay silent instead of overshare, hold eye contact instead of looking away, act with intention instead of desperation, you strengthen that inner weapon a little more. Most men will keep chasing louder forms of confidence, more flex, more noise, more performance, and they'll keep wondering why they feel so fragile underneath. You don't have to live like that. You can become the man who walks into a room and doesn't need to prove anything to anyone, because his power doesn't depend on them at all. Your self-control is your power. Your stability is your shield. Your controlled intensity is your edge. Use them wisely, and you become the most dangerous kind of confident.